Good morning, our people. Sorry that we're a little bit late. We had a technical challenge this morning. Something that was we'll be using all along. All of a sudden, this morning decided not to work, but it's okay. We are going to get this work done. Thank you.
Yes.
Welcome to the program. Like we always say, you are part of this show. You are part of this change that is coming. You are a stakeholder, so you're not a what is it called, spectator watching to see what other people are doing. You are part of
Mhm.
the program. So help us to share and like and subscribe. People must get this message. And when we are talking about liberation, we're not just talking about Nigeria in particular, we are talking about Africa as a whole. We need to build a sustainable future for our children where they will be proud of who they are, where they come from. They are not in liberty to try to please everybody, just like any other, group and race is doing. We should be able to do the same. Be happy with who we are. So, welcome to the program. Because we're starting late, I don't have time to talk today. My name is Mona Jim Saga, and I am here in Houston, Texas.
Thank you so much, my sister. Thank you, our viewers. You're all welcome today once again. Those that just coming for the first time, you are welcome. And those that have always been with us, we are proud of you. We thank you. We can see how you're sharing and inviting people. Please, thank you. Continue to do that. Those on YouTube, please click the subscribe button, please, and also like the video. And because when you do that, other people will also benefit from this show. Our people need to be informed, like my sister has said. My name is Simon Okube AP, and I live in Lexington, Kentucky. Thank you, my sister.
Thank you. I love, love, love our topic today because it's exactly what our people are, what we're doing right now. We are chasing our tails and running in circle as if that's a strategy, right? We know what happens when you run in circle for too long. You will collapse. So that's what we are watching happening around us. We know that people don't have answers to our problems and they are there going for election. I was fortunate enough to see one of our brothers on Yahoo News. Somebody titles one for he's a kabu kabu driver, and he said, "Can you believe the man that was interviewing him? He was telling him, he said, "Can we believe we are going to election, and none of the candidates is profiling any solution to what's going on?" This is a taxi driver. He even knows that nobody's trying to solve any problems, that all they want to do is to continue the status quo. Nothing will change for you. Nothing will ever change as long as we are building our house on a faulty foundation. We are waiting for another earthquake. We see what's happening in Turkey. That's going to be our story if we do not stop this earthquake from coming by. So we must stop chasing our tails because the outcome is not something that we'll be able to bear. So our topic says, um, just give me a minute. What happened to my continue to help us to share and like. Actually, you know what? Let me share first.
Yes,
Let
let's
me
share.
share
The
first.
topic is like a dog. Nigeria is chasing her tail.
So let me share first. What did
So
this?
let's continue to share, please. Invite your friends.
Yeah, let's continue to share. Let me do that because some people do not have access. Um, Yeah, there's someone that will have to do that hard work that will make it easier on anybody else. And we are willing to bear that burden for our people. Someone will have to do that work to make it easier on others. It's okay. It's okay. So we are not the kind of people that sit around and wait to go to some place where it's good and hang out and forget our people. God sent us away for a time like this. So it's time for us to rise up to the occasion and do what we are sent out to do. Unless if we consider ourselves prodigal sons and daughters that don't want to do what we're supposed to do. Even the prodigal son did come back and redeemed himself. So it's not too late for you to figure out how you can help our people back home, how you can be a change agent and make sure that we are doing the right thing, building our house in a strong foundation that will bring equity, justice, and fairness to poor, the rich, everybody else, you know, and allow people to thrive at their own pace. There's nothing wrong with that. And some people think that we are here to become PA for Peter B or become his secretary general afterwards. No, it's more than that. We're talking about lifetime change, something that will be even when we are not here, sustainable change, even when we are not here, other random people, like my daughter will say, will benefit from it. That's what we are looking for. So we are not narrow-minded. We are looking at the bigger picture, at a bigger picture on how we can build a society that everyone will benefit from, not just few. So, like a dog, Nigeria is chasing her tail. The only reason we reject the 2023 election is because we all reject the imposed military 1999 constitution as the basis for union and democracy. Anyone calling Nigerian state a democratic nation is a criminal. I'll tell you that. I don't care if it's Jesus Christ of Nazareth. I don't care if it's the Holy Spirit. I don't care who it is. If you are calling Nigeria a democracy, you're crazy. If you are sitting in your Western world and telling us that those of you that don't want the election to hold this and this democratic election, you are the criminal that we are complaining about. So every day we are identifying you. We are waking up. The people that you tied down in a slave camp is waking up and identifying you by your words and your actions. So if you think what's going on in Nigeria is a democracy, let's switch. Take the one that we have. Let's take the one that you have. And then we can come to the table to discuss. So recently we witnessed the Caribbean island of Barbados cut ties with the British monarchy after almost 400 years of colonial shackles. Of course, this came as a huge encouragement, especially as we watch the British Caliphate unitary Nigeria shamelessly collapse like a pack of cards. Nothing is working. Can you imagine now using Naira to buy Naira? That is the height of evil, height of stupidity, height of inefficiency, height of stooges ruling you. There's no other way to describe. They don't know what they are incapable. When we tell you that they lack the capacity to make the change that is meaningful for you, you think it's a joke. You think we're here to speak English. Yeah, they came from Harvard, they came from Oxford, they came from Yale, but that does not, equate to common sense. They don't even have the common sense to run a wife and two children without having 20 mistresses in the hotel. So our hope is that indigenous nations whose sovereignty has been hijacked will, in cooperation and coordination, take advantage of this deliberate crippling of the entire system by self-sabotaging this caliphate and bring an end to the reign of impunity, falsehood, injustice, misery, darkness, and backwardness in our land, so that we can charter a new course for freedom and self-determination. Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask? People that are obedient and articulated and whatever else that you are. Ninas is calling out the dishonesty of political leaders who promise to structure Nigeria while still upholding the current unjust constitution. We have, as people have suffered too long under the colonial yoke, and it's time to take back our dignity and create a society that truly thrives for all. The time for chasing our tail is over, or our tails is over. It's time to take action and transition towards a fresh constitutional arrangement that will protect the people and defend against predators and invaders because they are everywhere. As long as we're not able to manage ourselves, people love it because you can come to Nigeria, steal oil, and fly through Poto Road, and nobody will ask you what you're doing. As long as we are out of balance, people will continue to take advantage of us. They will give us loan that we will never pay back. They will give us contracts in Mandarin that we don't know what it's saying because we have incompetent people that the same colonial masters that balkanized us how many years ago, they are now telling us that what we have is democracy, and we're there partaking in an election that is giving life to our slavery. It's very sad as a mother to watch, as a sister to watch. Very sad. So today we will discuss the gains of successful mobilization against an old order and how the ethnic nationalities could either alone or with their neighbors transition to a fresh constitutional arrangement that will belong to us and protect the people against people that are against us because we already know who they are. They will come and tell us, oh, Boko Haram is coming. They're going to blow up everywhere in 1 week. They will run from their embassies. And they are yet on the other side making business and closing up their visa calendar for 27 months. Unless if you pay extra, then you get an earlier date. We know what you're doing. We see you eyeball to eyeball. Enough of the madness. Go ahead, my sister.
Indeed, enough of the madness. And it's our responsibility to say enough. That's why you're indigenous to that space. It's your responsibility to occupy the space and dictate your future and the future of your children, born or unborn. It is your responsibility. Nobody will do it for you. However, you have to follow the protocol. Things are not done anyhow. Others did not do their own anyhow. They have international, globally agreed standard protocol to follow for self-determination. And that's what you will follow. So like my sister has said today, we are looking at how Nigeria has been chasing her tail. We'll explain to you what it means for someone to chase his or her tail. And then we'll tell you how to come out of it. Because if you're a dog, there's a video we wanted to play. If you go and type it, dog chasing the tail, you see the video, the dog is going round. If that dog continues like that and does not stop, the dog will collapse because he'll be exhausted. That's what happens. So the first video we'll play for you this morning, we've been telling our people that these politicians and the political parties are all the same. None is different. One goal, their selfish ambition, not the people. Because you can't from one mouth tell the Northerners that you will uphold and keep the 1999 Constitution. And then on the other mouth, you tell Ijaw Nation, I will make sure there's true federalism.
Hey!
The Constitution is unitary constitution. You can never have a true federalism with it. If you uphold it, you can never have true federalism. One is opposite the other. It's either this or this. But the politicians will tell you they will do both. That's how criminally minded they are. And we have been calling our people, especially the youths, whose destinies are being destroyed, that are running after these politicians. Our people wanted self-determination. Ndi Igbo nation. Politicians entered inside it. When but planted Nnamdi Kanu inside to ruin everything the people were doing, and it got bastardized. The same way, the people, the youth of Nigeria said, we don't do this. They are moving by themselves, mobilizing themselves towards a new order. What did P2B do? P2B left PDP, came and plunged himself into the moon and became the champion of something he cannot deliver.
Hey, ewo.
Don't guess. We allow you to see by yourself and make that decision for yourself.
Obvious and very, very. Let me make it obvious and very, very simply. One, I have never, and I'll say it anywhere, please do not vote for me because I'm an Igbo man. I am running this election for the office of the President of Nigeria as a Nigerian who happens to be an Igbo man. I'm not denying where I'm coming from. I'm running it as a Nigerian. And I will live and defend the Constitution of Nigeria. I will govern with the Constitution of Nigeria. I will be just, I will be fair, and I will relate cordially with every part of Nigeria. Those who are actually fearing about me today, I can tell you, will be the greatest beneficiary of my presidency.
When Nigeria snaps, these broadcasts should serve as a battlefield instruction, because we'll find ourselves in what looks like a battlefield. The Fulani agenda is not receding. They're coming upon everybody. They're distracting you with election that may produce one candidate or the other as your president. But it is all about distracting you from the invasion that is ongoing. They already have their plans in case it gets to where people begin to vote at the election. The caliphate already has its plans, already has INEC that is executing that plan, already has the police and army and DSS that will stand in the middle, already has the technologies behind the electoral management. So you can entertain yourself, distract yourself that you are going to election to beat them. It's like a bunch of antelopes organizing themselves to go and beat up the lions and seize the jungle. Of course, the lions will encourage them in every way, because that is now making breakfast, lunch, and dinner, available for a long period of time. That's what you are doing in going to election under this constitution, that make you slaves. At the invitation of those who are struggling to save that constitution by dragging you to election. Our salvation is in blocking the journey, stopping the journey to election, to bring down that constitution. Their own salvation is in making sure that the election holds so that that constitution will survive. And so the dividing line for who is on one side or the other is that constitution. Are you for it? You are going to election. Are you against it? You are opposed to election. And so this broadcast, like I said before, is to tell our people what to do when Nigeria snaps. Because unless we stop this journey to nowhere, called the election 2023, Nigeria will snap. No gainsaying, no guesswork, empirical. But when Nigeria snaps, because we are not listening, let those who will find themselves in that commotion take their instructions now, that their eyes are clear, that their heads are clear. The reason Nigeria will snap and anarchy will come to meet you where you are is that there are people dragging you to election under the constitution that guarantee your bondage, that guarantee your penury, that guarantee everything you lament now. And when the smoke will cover all the place, We don't want you to go chasing after one another, because those same people are going to pitch you against one another. They will play the ethnic card. Oh, it is Yoruba that caused the problem. Go and beat them up. Oh, it's Igbo that must be beheaded. Oh, it's Ijo. No, they are going to play the ethnic card, north and south. Say, go and fight yourselves. It's the other side that caused it. They're going to play the religious card. It's the Muslims. And then people will begin to go and look for their Muslim cousins. Oh, it's the Christians. Oh, the Muslims will then go to beat up Christians. It's neither religious nor ethnic. It is simply that constitution that secures, humongous benefits for those who subscribe to it, and leaves absolutely nothing but damnation for the populace. And so the enemy you have to find and get rid, the enemy you have to really get hold of on the day Nigeria will snap, is anybody that can be identified on the side of that constitution. Don't go chasing yourself in terms of Yoruba chasing Igbo, or Igbo chasing Fulani. No, leave all those and face whoever was part of sustaining that constitution. And who are these people? Anybody who has ever sworn to defend and uphold that constitution. Those in public office now, governor, senator, president, all of those who council chairmen, House of Reps, House of Assembly, minister, all of those who swear to defend and uphold that constitution are the first line of enemies. All of those who are prepared to swear, those who are contesting election now under that constitution, are your second line of enemies. Those who are doing political party, because all of these people subscribe to that constitution. That constitution is the dividing line between life and death, between darkness and light, nothing else. If you can understand this, you will then know who to go after in that commotion. Whether it will come is not now a question of if, it's a question of when, except Nigeria stops the stupid journey to election that they are eroding everybody to right now. The enemy is anybody who can be identified as being on the part of that constitution. Those who have sworn to defend and uphold it, those who are preparing to swear and therefore going to election, having subscribed to that constitution, and those who are the proprietors of the political parties, APC, PDP, Labour Party, because they all subscribe to that constitution that is responsible for your killing, that is responsible for your impoverishment, that's responsible for rendering you slave in your homeland. Whether you be called a mob at the time, we don't know what it will be, but there will be a breakdown. There will be a breakdown occasioned by this constitution and the people pushing us to another election under it. Plus all of those who have sworn to defend and uphold it. We saw when in Arewa House a few weeks ago, about 2-3 weeks ago, we saw when Hakim Baba Ahmed pointedly put Peter Obi on the spot.
Oh, wow.
To swear before them, to commit before them, publicly, be in the presence of the whole world. That is, to publicly reconfirm, recommit, as he had done privately. I'm sure we recall the broadcast where we were saying that the basis of the support of Obasanjo to Peter Obi, the basis of the support of Babangida to Peter Obi, the basis of the support of Anga Abdullahi, Hakim Baba Ahmed, and General Guzo, is that Peter Obi had covenanted with them not to tamper with that constitution. Hakim Baba Ahmed comes public, and just giving you an example, something that can something you can use
Connecting
to
the dots.
verify
Yes.
what it is about this constitution in all this commotion going on, and the election that they're trying to use to save the life of that constitution and reinforce your damnation. Because if that constitution survives, the caliphate has defeated you. It doesn't matter who wins. Because the P2B you are hoping will win has already covenanted with them publicly, having first covenanted privately with their key organizers, the 5 men I mentioned. P2B has covenanted with them publicly to keep that constitution, not to touch that constitution, not to tamper with their benefits in terms of leaving things the way they are. And that's why he went public to say that the problem of Nigeria is not the constitution. We, Ninas, are saying, and we didn't just start saying it because they became candidates. We have said it across the last 23 years, from 1999. We actually came out in year 2020, almost 3 years before they became candidate for election in 2023, to say that this constitution is all the problem. The solution to the problems we see, whether it's insecurity, whether it's the corruption, whether it's the decay in infrastructure, impunity, all of those things that have turned Nigeria to what it is, what you see, that is chasing young people to exile all over the world, that has blocked their parents and seniors who had traveled a long time ago from coming back. There's no Nigeria to return to right now. We owe it an urgent duty to take responsibility for our future and take charge over our space. And so, when Nigeria snaps, those who pushed us to that point by clinging tenaciously to that constitution that is responsible for what is happening to us are the people we have to find wherever they try to hide. A word for the mob that has not gathered. Thank you.
So I'm telling you, our people, that these people know what they're doing. My sister is trying to pull a second one for us. This video is short. That's Obasanjo telling you what needs to be done. And there's some information my sister also pulled up that US already knew as far back as 2015 what will work for Nigeria. They already knew. Everybody knows at the global arena, they know that it's true federalism that will work for Nigeria because of our diversity. About over 300 ethnic nationalities with their different values and core values and view of life. The only thing that can work is true federalism.
The same here in the US, right? People came from Germany, they came from
Exactly.
Ireland, they came from wherever they are, and they are here. It's working because things are being done right.
It's common sense.
It's common sense. It's common sense.
So in Europe, that's the same thing they're doing. We have told you on this show, we say in Europe, the so-called tribes are nations. Why is it in Africa that nations are called tribes?
Ndori.
Because they want to reduce you to an insignificant entity so they can steal your resources. And who are the people helping them? The politicians and their bedfellows, the church leaders, your GOs. We will call them out, and we will continue to call them out. We will not stop until they change. Your GOs, your church leaders, your priests, your bishops, your archbishops, all of them are in cahoots with politicians, rendering the people brainwashed and not able to be strong to fight for what is theirs. Because you know what? The politicians are using the money they're stealing for your hospitals and roads to pay them as offerings and tithes. They are members of their churches. They are the ones building big stadiums and big cathedrals for them and buying private jet for them. They hobnob and they marry themselves. They belong to clubs. They are together. They're not Christians. Yes, your GOs are not Christians.
Nope, they are businessmen making
They are
money.
businessmen. They have empire to run. And that is what is more important to them, because this Nina's proposition has been on their table for years. Mbaka knows about this proposition for years, decades. But they are doing business with the lives of the people. That's why Christians are being slaughtered in the north on daily basis.
And nobody can speak on
and
it.
nobody's speaking. And Cooker, is it Bishop Cooker or Bishop Cook or Bishop, what is it? Oh, Gas Cooker. Bishop, whatever he calls himself, is from the north. He knows the truth, but he chose to hobnob with the politicians for benefits. That's what Melafia kept doing. We warned Melafia. Nina's warned Melafia, said, true federalism is the only thing that can work in Nigeria. No, but he chose to hobnob with the politicians because he stands to gain. At the end, what happened? They killed him. That's what they would do to all these people working with them. Repent today, because the anger of God is against all of you, and you are on the pathway for destruction. Because when Nigeria snaps, you will be the first victim. All of you that knew the truth, but kept it from the masses, you will be the first victim. Listen to Obasanjo. This is what he said, January 26, 2023. Listen to him.
By any means, assume that this will be easy. We have made many false starts in the past. We have steadily become impatient with democracy, its principles and practice, as we demand instant results. But past failure should not discourage us from embracing new vistas or perspectives that will guarantee our survival. Without reinventing the wheel, therefore, let me state very clearly that the principles I've been talking about include, but certainly not limited to, building and compacting a truly people-led and people-driven constitution that they will own and defend against political predators of any form.
Predators.
This
You're
is
one
the
of them.
basic foundation that when you involve the people in the process, they understand it, make their input, see the document as their own, not only women, and not only will they defend it, but it will also guide their political actions, assignments, and realignments. Their welfare and well-being is involved, and they can make meaningful contributions.
Obodo oyibo. English. English. This is what we're talking about. After they have used and misused us, now they want to appear like, like the Westerners. They will go to Africa and cause hunger, then they will send their Christian brothers and sisters to go to the heap of trash can somewhere and videotape themselves with an African child with a fly on their nose and stomach protrude. They help an African child. Oh, help an African child. Just 30 cents a day can feed an African child. When you are the one causing the problem of an African child. Obasanjo, we know who you are. We know who you are. But thanks for saying the truth anyway. Because the truth, that's why we're saying that we are persistent and consistent in what we're doing, because we know it's the truth. So whether you go to the moon, you do your election, you go to hell, you come back out from hell, the truth remains constant. It's not going to change.
No.
So we will continue to shine that truth to your face. You won't have any choice than to bow to the truth. We are not going nowhere. We are not going anywhere.
No. Not at all. We're not going anywhere. We're here. Why my sister pulls up the PowerPoint so that you can follow the discussion, because in this show we like bit by bit. We'll show you. It's lecture. That's why you're not seeing people calling to say, thank you, Umada, thank you. We don't need the thank you. We want our people to be free.
Mm-hmm.
When our people are free, you can receive thank you. But before then, not before then. We don't want you to ginger us. We already gingered. The death of our people has gingered us. We are fired up. So that's why we come and present the truth for you. And please help us to share, like, subscribe. You are a member of this team if you do just that. And hit the like button, because we know that they don't want you to hear this news. So they set up algorithm against us. But if you hit the like button, the love, keep pumping it. We're seeing people pumping it. Please, thank you so much. Continue to do that, because it will break the algorithm. And this message will go out to our people. People are discovering it, they're finding it. So it's working. What we're doing is working. Let me allow my sister to continue.
That's important. So, like a dog, Nigeria is chasing her tail. We keep telling you guys this. We actually have a picture of this dog, but he refused to play. And you should have seen what happened to the dog after a while. The dog collapsed and passed out, and there's no reason for that. But there are things that will cause someone to continue to do the same thing and expect different results. Well, it's
The PowerPoint
definitely,
is not yet. So
huh?
the PowerPoint is not up. It went up and came down.
Oh, okay. What did I do? Okay,
They
thank
came
you.
up again.
So usually, yeah, on my side, that's the only thing I see. I don't even see what's going on in the background.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see. Oh, I know what happened. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's up.
Yes, it's up now. Thank you. You can see it now.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so here's a picture of the poor dog. This dog eventually collapsed at the end of the day, and we don't want that to be our story, because we are capable of painting a different picture. We're capable of doing a whole lot more. But when you live in an estate of Usman Danfodio, where you're just a renter, right? Your landlord tells you what to do. They keep you in darkness. They make sure that you do not control your future or your destiny. They say that the new nation called Nigeria should be an estate of their great grandfather, that they will ruthlessly prevent a change of power. They will use the minorities of the North as a willing tool and the South as a conquered territory, and never allow them to rule over us, and never allow them to have control over their future. This is wickedness from demonic hell. Like this guy is talking about future generations to come, that they will make sure. I don't even know this punk where he comes from with his ugly self, but he's making
It's
sure
Fulani now. It's from
that
it's Fulani.
I don't know him from Ada.
No, we don't know him. We
So
just
here he is making a pronouncement
Mhm.
way before I got here that I will
Yeah.
never be able to, he will never be able to allow me
And
to.
that thing pronouncement is holding you. And
It's
we are on it. Not for real, for like fake. It's real.
It's real. So we are just renters in a slave camp. Whether we live in the one that we bought for 20 million or 50 billion, it's under the Fulani's camp. As long as we're in one Nigeria, and they've already informed us. I will never forget this, that as long as you guys are willing to play the game of democracy, they will run the show. As long as you guys are stupid enough to play the game of democracy, they have majority.
And they said under the 1999 Constitution. No, they
Yes.
added it. Because they know what they're doing. They say so far the 1999 Constitution is in place. Continue, please. I just
Yes,
to chip in
yes.
that.
They will continue to tell us what to do. Whether your brother wins or not, they will tell your brother what to do. Get it through your thick head. So that you guys don't come out now and start fighting Peter Obio. Because me, myself, will come and defend him. He already told you guys he is not touching the 1999 Constitution. There's nothing wrong with him. He's all about one Nigeria. He's here to serve one Nigeria. He did not lie, yo. He did not lie to you. They made him come out. The owners of Nigeria made him come out in public to declare such a pronouncement, and you guys are still there gingering yourself. Let's hobnob with him and take pictures, because we are going to, from the back, we're going to tell him what to do. You and your children will suffer the consequences. But again, thank God for Ninas. We must not take responsibility for our future and take charge of our spaces. Because if not, people that do not own the land will destroy. They are already destroying it. What will happen? Think about it. What happens when you don't own something? You don't value it. You do not value it. It's like these children here, you will go and buy a brand new car for them. My poor husband, he gave his son a brand new car. This boy parked his car where they're throwing cats. People are pushing cats. And he asked him, he said, some people are parking $1 million car over there. When he doesn't, he can't even pay the car note. This is what these Fulanis are doing. They don't own the land, so they are willing to do anything to destroy it. It's not theirs. The same idea with the children. So what are some of the attributes of someone chasing his or her tail? We know that they go in repetitive and fruitless cycles. They make multiple ineffective attempts. It's not going to work. You're just there wasting your time doing continuous unproductive activities. And we know that this thing, if you continue to do this chasing of your tail, it will produce unintended consequences. That is exhaustion, because you are lacking knowledge. You're being dishonest. You don't have any clarity of your goals and objectives. You're just there going, well, some random guy said that one is in somebody else's pocket and the other one is in another person's pocket and the other one is in my pocket. Really? In 2022, 2023? You're doing it because you're resistant to change. You think what you're doing is working, even when it's obvious that you're falling apart. You're repeating these ineffective strategies because, again, you have not told yourself the truth. And you are not, last but not least, not recognizing that the repeated setbacks associated with this behavior. But there's good news, because if we follow Nina's protocol, we can break these repetitive cycles that is not taking us anywhere, right? We can do something different. We can take a step backwards and reassess the situation, reassess our moves, reassess and say, has all these things that we've been talking, has it worked for us? We know, as we're talking today in South Africa, they are suffering blackouts, electricity blackouts. With all the resources these people have, guess what they blame it on? Corruption. Corruption. The person that is running the company is tied to the president. This one is this, and people are suffering. So they have to declare a state of emergency. Isn't that sad when we know that these things can be done right? These people are not just stealing money. They are taking 80% of the allocated resources to fund electricity. 80%, according to the investigation. Impunity. We can break the repetitive cycle by reevaluating the situation, by doing some research and getting more information.
Sorry,
Thank God for data.
Sorry, I
Okay.
want to add something. Like in South Africa,
Mm-hmm.
they destroyed the apartheid constitution. But that work has not finished. They needed to finish up and give back the resources that was stolen back to the people and then manage it properly. That's what happens when you start something and don't finish it. Nelson Mandela was able to get political freedom for his people.
Mm-hmm.
But economic freedom was something that the people will continue to fight and then until they get it. You see what lack of knowledge makes people to do, which is why Nina's is approaching it in a different way, because this Nina's proposition is both South African and Sudan and everything joined together, because you learn from other people's mistakes and then build your own to be better.
Yes.
This is why this is better. That's why we're taking time to enlighten the community, which is 5% of the job. That's mobilization. This thing we are seeing that we are talking to the people is because we want sustainable results, sustainable success. That when we are done, we chasing out the enemy will not come back through the back door because the people are ignorant. Because the Bible already told us what happens to ignorant people. We say, my people perish for lack of knowledge. That is death. So please continue, my sister. Sorry, I said let me just.
No, you have to. It makes sense. We have to add that, my dear. We definitely have to add that, because if you look at, when you're speaking about South Africa, it's the same. Some of those people that benefited from whatever purpose that they were serving, because that's what they would do. They would take the few of us and make them benefit from the system, and those few of us will now lose okune number. They will be the one that will come and they'll turn on their generator during Christmas time and give us a bag of rice and salt. And we are thinking God is good. They are stealing from you. That bag of rice, they're benefiting from it. So you're only waiting for Christmas to get your bag of rice. They're getting their own bag of rice every day that they interact with these criminals. So doing research and getting more information is a huge part of it for us to break this cycle that we know that the outcome is not what we desire. Go ahead, sister. Hello?
I muted myself. I muted myself. So thank you so much. You look, my sister, thank you. You know, like my sister was saying, because like she said, what is happening to us, it has happened to some people before. We can see it. We are supposed to learn from other people's experience and build even better. I saw my brother make a comment. He said that Nina's proposition is holistic. It's all encompassing. Yes, thank you. Do you understand? That's how we engage on this platform. Type, write, put your comments, your questions. We are reading them. If we don't read them now, we'll read at the end of the show and we'll respond to you. We want people to think. Yes, our brother Ifechi Ezonyokwelu. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. Because these people are working on the ground, sharing this information and other information that we have, because we have other platforms. This is not the only platform. At the end of the show, we always tell you other platforms that Nina's is using, because this work is all encompassing. All the ethnic nations being marginalized, being destroyed on daily basis are part of Nina's. So it's not just Ndibo or Ndi Yoruba. I read the comment when somebody said, oh, Yoruba people, we are already free. Free from where to where? One single ethnic nation cannot be free until the last ethnic nation that is being molested is free.
Amen.
It's something that we work in alliance. If you pull your ethnic nation alone, they will kill you, like they're killing Southeast. If you make too much noise alone, they will come for you. But if you are coming from all angles and circling that enemy in the middle, you see, the enemy will have nothing to do but to back. You attack from all angles. That's what you do. You don't become the weaker link. If you become the weaker link, you put an opening for the devil to attack your people, and your people will be attacked and killed. You open that door. But if you walk through the alliance of Ninas, we have taken into consideration all ethnic nations being molested by the caliphate. We have also taken into consideration the stakeholders. We've gone to the global arena to discuss with stakeholders, the people that matter. They are part of this proposition and they are part of this work. So let's go on. Nigeria and foreign meddling. Because like we said, Nigeria is chasing her tail. So we want to show you how Nigeria has been chasing the tail. That means you are, like my sister said, you are repeating something that will not be productive over and over, and you're not learning from your mistakes. You just keep going. First of all, in 1959, and we tell you these things, you go and check out and verify what we're saying, because here it's not about propaganda. Awolowo, it's on record, Chief Awolowo won the pre-independence election. Sorry, we made a little mistake. We'll correct this. Pre-independence election of 1959. He won it. But guess what? Britain meddled. That's what said, foreign meddling. They coronated the candidate that came third, Tafawa Balewa. So it's not today that corruption in politics started. And you know, corruption in politics begets corruption in reality. If you have not fixed the corruption in politics, you cannot fix the corruption in reality. Because that's the root. If you have not fixed the corruption in the foundation, you can't take care of the symptoms. Those in medical field, they know it. If you have not treated the disease, the symptoms will not go away. If you decide to manage the symptom, the disease will continue to grow and produce more symptoms. So if you're honest, you have to look for the disease. That is the essence of diagnosis. proper diagnosis and correct diagnosis. Because when you don't make correct diagnosis, you will not treat properly and the patient will die. You will waste the resources chasing symptoms that you're just wasting your time. So Britain meddled by bringing somebody that was number 3. Does this sound like what is happening today? Are you not seeing these things happening? We are continuing on that our wrong pathway. Number 3, Awolowo, being a decent man, a man that did not want trouble, he went to court. Because that's what the judicial, in democracy, you have the executive, then you have the judiciary system. That's why you have that, where democracy works and is true, is to have checks and balances. Because absolute power corrupts absolutely. So you do not want to hand all your power in one man and say, that's the Messiah. There's no Messiah. There's no one human being that has been made to be a Messiah. Because absolute power corrupts absolutely. You have to be learned. So Awolowo went to court. But what happened? They imprisoned him. They put him into prison, forever challenging the almighty Britain and caliphate. He was imprisoned. And what happened? Yoruba people revolted. Southwest. They revolted. When they revolted, that's the people. Because democracy is supposed to be for the people. When the people said, we don't agree, what did they do? They illicitly suspended the constitution of the regional, the western region of Nigeria. That's what we showed you. This tripod, you see that stool in the picture. With 3 legs, Nigeria was like that. When we were receiving independence, it was on 3 major regions, which like Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, but West, East, North, the 3 regions. When you suspend the constitution, because that's what makes it a true federalism. That's why we're trying to make our people to understand what the problem is, so that you don't go about chasing your tail because you lack knowledge. For independence, true federalism, it was these constitutions, the regional constitutions coming together. Then you now have the federal constitution. So a federation is a union of constitutions. You now go ahead on May 29th, 1962, and suspend the constitution of one region illicitly, because you have no right to do that. You see, this tripod, the legs were equal, same size, same everything, same size. But one true brigand date, big English that our brother Tony likes speaking. If I cut my tongue, it means through stealing, connivance. They ganged together, Caliphate, Britain, and beat down one leg of the stool. What will happen? The stool collapsed. That's why Nigeria collapsed. We are saying 1962. So we are saying that the federal system that Peter Obi is promising Ijaw people that he will put it back. Peter Obi doesn't even know when the trouble started. Peter Obi doesn't even know what federalism is. He's a businessman, he's a trader. He doesn't even know what they're saying. It was constitutional. Constitution was what made Nigeria lose federalism. How will Peter Obi now put it back? Is he a region? When one person answers Unudum, we know in that story that they told us when we were growing up. When Tortoise answered Unudum, what happened to him? Destruction. One person does not answer all of you. Democracy is supposed for the people. So the people come together and write constitution. So for federalism, the regions had their own independent, autonomous constitution. You now bring it together like they do in US here. That's how you have federalism. But in May 29, 1962, Caliphate and Britain, that's why I say foreign meddling, they came in and destroyed one region because they want to do corruption. Corruption. And they didn't stop there. They now put the doctor called Dr. Majakodami. They made him the sole administrator of Western region. It is illicitly done. That's to tell you where corruption started. Where the evil started. And if you want to solve a problem, you go back to where it started to solve it. If you don't know where it started beating you, you won't know where it dried you. Our problem is constitutional. It's not personal change. It's from the foundation. They destroyed the foundation that we thought we wanted to build on. And if the foundation is destroyed, there's nothing the righteous can do. Even St. Peter Obi cannot do anything because the foundation has been destroyed. Let's stop lying to ourselves. And please take this thing, share this video to your politicians, to your GOs, to your church members, so they can stop lying to the people and stop lying to themselves and stop deceiving the people. Some people are my enemy now. Yes, some personal friends on top places have become my enemies. That's my sworn enemies because I'm telling the people the truth. You know what? I am the daughter of my father. My father was a truth teller, speaking the truth all the time. And we continue to speak the truth.
And it didn't start today.
No, I don't care. I must continue to tell my people the truth and they will hear the truth. And you know what? Truth will prevail. And when that happens, you will be put to shame. So our people now began this journey of ineffective elections. Every day, go for election, come back, fail, this, that. So instead of fixing the constitutional problem, the constitutional grievances, here is Western region, which is one leg of the stool, one leg of the tripod, revolting, crying, grievances, grieving, saying, this is injustice. This is unfair. No. Nigeria, stop. There's injustice. Stop. Let's fix it. No. This is constitutional grievance. No. We no go agree. We no go agree. Rather than fix that injustice, what did Nigerians do? Under Caliphate and Britain, they went on to election. Does this sound familiar to you? You see, we've been chasing our tail. Maybe today it starts. I remember in those days, that criminal we saw in Urban and Book Obido.
And they were intentional when they set it up that way.
They were. So they went on. We had constitutional grievances. We had union disputes. Rather than fix it, they went to election. Why? Because they are criminals. Of course, 1964, they went for the election and came out. The people did not accept it. They said this is totally unacceptable. That is not free and fair. How can it be free and fair when you are building on injustice? You can never have a free and fair election built on injustice. That's not possible. 75% of members of Nigeria were eager to leave because the union had become a crooked one due to constitutional abnormality. We are talking to those of you in foreign lands, call yourself diplomats, whatever you call yourselves, telling us that we have democracy. Like my sister said, if you say that Nigeria is running democracy, then let's switch. Come and live in Nigeria. Let's go and live in US. Let's receive US as our country and run it.
Yes.
You go and take Nigeria. We dash you Nigeria. That was how we continued to do the wobbly until 1966, that coup of 1966. And that's what we keep telling people. The coup, the first coup of 1966 was to fix injustice and reinstall Chief Awolowo that won the election. They only tagged it Igbo coup because they wanted to make Ndi Igbo an scapegoat and kill them. For people that tell you that they're writing books, they want to get information. Please get your information accurately. We beg you. Because wrong information is worse than cancer. They already kill us with misinformation. They're already causing tribal wars, inter-regional wars, inter-ethnic wars because of mismanagement of information. So information is very important. When you give the people wrong information, there will be trouble everywhere. This is why we are daughters of truth. We are here to connect the dots. to make our people to understand that we don't need to fight. If you know who the causing problem, who the person is that is causing problem, you go and knock on that person door and say, oh boy, stop causing trouble. That's what you do in the neighborhood. You don't put the whole neighborhood on fire. You come for neighborhood meeting. Here we have neighborhood meeting and platforms. If somebody is causing trouble, doing things outside the way it should be in this neighborhood, the people will come together and go to the door and send somebody, go and meet that person that is always making noise and playing loud music. Say, tone down your music. That's what you do. Everybody does not run mad and start killing people and stabbing people. No. So that coup happened, and it led to the massacre of southeastern people. We are saying that you destroyed Western region. Now you went ahead to destroy Eastern region as well. People, have you seen where our trouble started? And what we should be saying is that, so who is doing this destruction? That should be the question our people should be asking. Not shouting Biafra, 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 Biafra. You think when you shout Biafra, 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 you have Biafra. No amount of announcing Biafra is coming in 200 days, Biafra is coming in 20 days, without sitting down to do the working. No amount of it will bring freedom for the people. It does not work like that. It has never worked like that, and it will not work like that now. If somebody has cancer, and instead of giving them chemotherapy, you are giving them malaria tablets, it will not cure the cancer because you're working on wrong diagnosis. So when that started and the massacre started, our people do not even go to war. There was trouble because our people were saying, and for those that say Ojukwu started war, Ojukwu did not start war. Our people were running, and as they were running, they were killing them. Our people were receiving heads of their children from the north, from everywhere. And they said, no, Ojukwu was the person in charge of Eastern region then. They went to him. We need to do something to safeguard our people. It was about security, safety of life and properties. We need to safeguard our people and our territory. What can we do? That's why they went to Aburi. They didn't go to war. They went to Aburi to negotiate, to get a proper document that will help the people have a better life. The essence of Aburi Accord, if it stood, it was for union, if it was for confederation, and then to arm the regions. Because they were of the argument that if Western region was, apart from being a region that was independent, had ammunition, like had military of its own to protect themselves, there's no way an external force, external predator, external aggressor, an invader will come into their region to destroy them. If the East were armed and had their own military, there's no way. And when we talk about military, we're not talking about policing. We are talking about military to protect the territory. Because there's no autonomy without military protection.
Yep.
For you to have freedom, you have to defend the freedom. As you're thinking of getting freedom, if your freedom is not defended, then it's not freedom yet. Because aggressor will always be there. Invaders will always be there. Predators will always be there. So for freedom to be freedom indeed, for a region to be autonomous and continue to be autonomous, you must have security that will defend that freedom and defend that territory. That is how it's done. That's why Americans are armed. That's why there's ammunition in every house. Americans is to protect their freedom, is to protect their independence. That's what it is. You must defend independence. So if you have a region, that's what our people thought when they went to Aburi. We already have federalism, each region by themselves. But for us to make sure that people do not invade us, since we're autonomous region, we need to also have military to protect it. Do you know what? Everybody agreed. But Britain came again and meddled because it will not be good for them. It will not be good for their stealing. Remember, they are building Commonwealth. So they have to steal your resources to go and build Europe and their country. So if you are not protecting it, how can they steal? They can't steal now because you're protecting it. That's why they came in and said no. And they worked with people inside again and destroyed that. And what happened? Over 3.5 million citizens, we're not talking about military, citizens were massacred. That's Biafra genocide that you hear about, that they don't want to speak about.
Nope.
Give kudos to our brother Femi, no, Sheun's Fela's son, for recognizing Biafra genocide, for recognizing that our people have resisted to the point of going to war. They call it civil war, Nigeria, Biafra. But if you ask yourself, why was the war? Because people wanted freedom. People were resisting slavery. People were resisting invaders. That's why they wanted to protect themselves. And they were killed. And today, they don't want to discuss it. They want to move on. And P2B is telling you, I'm not here for an Igbo man. I want to serve you as a Nigerian. Ifere megbuogi P2B.
Shame.
P2B, umadi Igbo si ifere megbuogi. Ifere megbuogi P2B. Ifere megbuogi. Ifere mechuwa. We can't account for over 3.5 million of our people. We're not talking about 2 million children that were starved to death. We can't account for that. And you have the audacity to say what you're saying.
But it's all about him and his business pockets and his one watch.
Okay, we'll see how far that one will lead him. So as we continue on this ineffective election journey that we said our people have been embarking on, because of that, it now led to the confiscation of sovereignties of ethnic nations. They were chasing Igbo people, the Biafras that they felt, but if they do it only Igbo people, it will be too noticeable. So they had to do it across board. That's how they confiscated the sovereignty and the resources of everyone. You just people that are crying, our resources, resource control. That's why your resources is because Biafra was defeated. That the gates that they used to come in to confiscate your resources and your sovereignty. Yoruba people, all of you. So if you want the right thing to be done, you know where to start. So who are the people that took over, that confiscated the sovereignty of the people, of the ethnic nations, and took over their resources? The people that made the illicit constitution that we are talking about. It's a no-brainer. It's the people, the constitution they made is to protect what they have stolen.
Yep.
So that's why we call it Caliphate Military Constitution, Class of 66. Those people, and Obasanjo is their prefect, is their head, the class monitor. That class of 66, Obasanjo is the class monitor. So they made that constitution with the help of their slave counterpart, Britain. The people did not make it. And we played the video for you that Obasanjo has accepted. Obasanjo is now guilty as charged that they made the Constitution of 1999. That's why he's telling you that the right thing is the people's made, people-led Constitution, because that's the only way the people can defend their democracy against political predators. You see what we tell people, that consensus is increasing. Everybody is agreeing now what Ninas is saying is right. But they are still criminally minded, trying to head the transition government. Mm-hmm. And we are saying, you cannot be the one that gave us poison and come and say, oh, let me be giving you medication. You gave me poison the first time. How are you going to give me medication that will cure me of the poison? How can I trust you? You will give me double poison and kill me off now. So that's why we say, Obasanjo, you're not the solution. But thank you for agreeing with what we're saying. But you are not heading this transitional government. Remove it from your mind. Obasanjo, let it die a natural death. Remove it from your mind. And you're not going to meddle about it. Like Ninas have said, the indigenous nations will come together and decide the membership of the transitional government, the framework, and the modalities. That is how it's done all over the world. We are tired of one man leading us and directing us from their dementia, demented brains. We are done with demented brains having to direct our affairs. It has not worked for over 53 years. It will not work now. So that's how this journey of over 53 years wobbling, no union, hijacked federation, it continued. Now in 2023, we want to repeat the mistake of 1964. And you heard that man, that Fulani man, he said, we are now back. There's a video going around. He said, we are back to 1964 because we keep telling our people from the South, Middle Belt, that this caliphate, these Fulanis have always been aware of what they were doing. They are reading the times. You're the only one not reading the time, doing be obedient. He told you that we are now back to 1964. Yes, that's what we were. 1964, when we had constitutional grievances, and rather than fix it, we went to election. That's what happened. And now, rather than fix this problem now, we are going 2023 election. And that's why Nina said, stop, stop, stop. Nina is carrying like red placard that saying, stop, no road, stop, no outlets. And we are seeing the indices of the crisis in Nigeria, nationwide crisis, and systems collapse. You can see it going down. You can see Nigeria going down because you're traveling on the wrong route. There's constitutional grievances everywhere. Everybody's rioting, saying, no, this constitution is not okay, or this constitution is not okay. We are back to 1964. So those that are saying, oh, it has never been this bad, it's because you're not reading history. You refuse to go and study history. Operation Wait Here, I can't pronounce it well. That is wait him with acid. People were being killed. Have you forgotten when we were doing the election, where they were using machetes to massacre people in Southeast everywhere? It has always been bad. We are chasing our tail. See, like that dog, that picture, you say, you're chasing your tail and you will collapse. Nationwide crisis. Official corruption is now official. Obasanjo, Emefiele, and Buhari, that is Wohi, they took $30 billion. That is 22 trillion naira under their ways and means, whatever. Everything is about corruption. If I'm not calling it this name, they're calling it that name. Here, what we call it is Ohi in my language. Ohi is stealing. Stealing is stealing. But rather than ask them about Buhari and Emefiele, what is going on? You're busy running up and down. In crisis. There's mass poverty, starvation.
And you're going to election that the candidates are not telling you what they're going to do to solve your problems.
Exactly. INECO, PVCO, BVASO, everything has been designed to fail. Terrorism and banditry everywhere. Fuel scarcity, naira scarcity, crisis everywhere. We have only two options. That's what Ninas is saying. Only two options in front of us. If you go to election trying to change personnel, trying to change a driver in a vehicle that has no engine, it will lead to more chaos. Nigeria will snap. That's how Nigeria snapped in 1967-70. We are back there. 1964, we were supposed to fix the problem. We did not fix it. We went to election. And what happened? 1967-70, genocide happened. People died. When you are not doing what you're supposed to do, people will die. The next option is transition now. You see, we put it in red so that we can have better constitutional arrangements. You can't do it after swearing to uphold the fraudulent constitution of 1999. That is a lie. That's deception. So it's not possible. Transition 9 now is the right decision. We want to quickly run because our time is fast spent. We want to quickly run to describe to you what democracy is. For people that keep saying, oh, in Nigeria, anybody that we not uphold democracy in Nigeria, we will not give them visa. We will not
let's switch. Let them come and live there, called Nigeria. Let them come and live in that space, and we'll give them visa.
Exactly. What is democracy, Seth? My people will ask. That you hear government of the people, by the people, for the people. What does it mean in practical terms? Government of the people means that the people made the supreme law that is guiding the whole government. That means the constitution has to be made by the people. When we talk of the people, we talk of the constituent members of that entity. If we say Nigeria is diversified, those peoples, all the people groups, ethnic nations, call them tribes if you want, all of them we agree from. That's why you make constitution from the ground to top. You don't make constitution from top and hand it over to people. No, from grassroots, everybody will begin. It's like a step. Begin to say what they want, how they want it. It will now be organized, and then you are building a house. That's why you build from the ground and then build to get to the top. That's government of the people. That's what Obasanjo was referring to. It will be a constitution that the people can defend, because you're defending it because you made it, and you're beating your chest. Gam. This is what we said. Why people do meeting? They will say, because we already practice democracy in an Igbo. That's why I'm proud of Igbo nation. When they finish, it's Ohaneze. It's not Eze alone. Eze means dictatorship. Ohaneze, the Oha will speak, and the Eze will agree, and the Eze will speak, and the Oha will agree, and they will put it together, put their minds together, and our people will say, this thing you hear, let the A say I, the I say nay. Is an Igbo. We're already doing it for over 5,000 years. It didn't start now. That's how you have government of the people. By the people means that it's only the people voted by the people that we have access to power. The people chose, they will choose who will lead them. They are the only ones that will have access to power, not what we have been doing, where you select your candidates and then impose on the people. That is not democracy. If it's not Panadol, then it's not Panadol. Government for the people means the people will be the sole benefits of the system. The people will be protected by the system. So if the people are not being protected, if the people are not benefiting, it means that what you have is not democracy. And anybody calling it democracy is a rogue, is a criminal, is deceptive, is a liar, is a thief, is anything evil. In a society that is a democratic society, the hierarchy is the same. The people that are on top, they are the most powerful, they are the most important. It's a people kind of governance. It's about the people. It's not about Peter Obi. It's not about any messiah. It's not about one criminal. Oh, Tinubu, Atiku. It's not about them. It's about the people. The people are the most important in a true democracy. And then down, you have the politicians who are representing the people. They are there to work for the people, not to enslave the people. They are there to work for the people and serve the people. That's why it's called public service. They are serving the people. So if you have a system where the people are not being served, the opinion cannot count. They don't even have a voice. It means you don't have democracy. We have not started. It's from there. The next thing is policies. They will say these are the policies. Those policies, how we build hospital, how we build this, how we do this. These are the dividends of democracy. That if it's in that order. It's only when you go in that order that you see what you're looking for. For those that are shouting good governance, stop deceiving yourself. Stop deceiving yourself. You can only vouch for good governance in a true democracy. So if the constitution, the foundation is not even right, where are you getting good governance from? Stop deceiving yourself. We want to tell our people the truth, and we want our people to receive the truth. So the next thing we'll tell you about is about Nigeria and global peace. Because nobody exists in an island. Please, my sister, the next slide. Nobody exists in an island. My activity in my house affects my neighbor. So that means it's not just about what I want. It is also what my friends want, what my neighbors want, so that we have harmony in the society. So Nigeria cannot say, what are they coming to do? We are part of a global entity. So what we do counts. In Nigeria, like we're saying, like Ninas is warning us that if Nigeria snaps, we're going to have over 200 refugees. Oh, 200,000. Sorry, that's a mistake in the slide. We'll correct it. I will correct it. I made a mistake. Over 200,000 refugees.
Million.
200,000. Oh, 200 million. Sorry, my dear. These numbers.
That's
200.
okay. You're trying to minimize the impact.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. 200 million. Sorry to put M there. 200 million. We are talking about 200 million. Numbers are too much. Refugees that will be thrown. We don't have war. Nigerians are japping everywhere. The world, they're already having crisis with receiving Nigeria. UK is already saying, oh, no. We don't want all these Nigerians coming. We're going to send them to Rwanda. If anybody comes, we ship them to Rwanda. The crisis hasn't happened, though. The snap hasn't happened. They're already saying, no. Too much Nigerians everywhere. They don't want that. The world does not want that. So it's a serious issue. So what you're doing in that, your Nigeria, the world, they're watching. And this is why in 2019, Nina's team were invited to Washington, D.C. because they saw the things happening. They're following news. They even follow the news more than, like some of us that live here, we know what happens back home more than the people that are living there. We are the ones telling them. Most of them don't even know what is going on. That's how the diplomats and all these people, because they have assets in Nigeria. And that's their job there. Their job is to protect the assets of their nations there and to protect their people living there. So it is their job to do that. That's why they have to have that information ahead of you. So when they saw the killings happening in Nigeria, they saw everybody making noise, but they chose to invite Nina's team because they saw them that they are calculated. It's like they know where they're going. We told it as far back as 2015, they saw Nina's proposition. Then it wasn't called Nina's. They saw it. So they knew that there are some people called these people and they have been working for years. So for those that say, what have you been doing for years? Yes, work has been going on for years. So they invited them. So between January to July 2019, they examined the Nina's proposition to see it. They're not doing it for you. They're doing it to see how it will affect them if things are done this way, what they will benefit from it. The world is about benefit now. So I look for my own, you look for your own. All we are saying is that let there be fairness in us looking for what will benefit. As it's benefiting me, it will benefit you. That's why people say, live and let live. Ebe belu, ugo belu. In case he be ebena, nkukwaya, kwakasia ya, won't even look for some Christians. I say, go see a bog.
No. That's how it's supposed to be.
Exactly. That is fake. In a go see a bog, did he want you to pay before? Somebody that didn't want you to pledge. How will he be showing you where to pledge? Does it even make sense? You see how they use religion to scatter our brain? What our ancestors have said, this is how it is, and it will make sense. They will brainwash our people and they will start saying things that do not make sense. Even codes that we receive from our ancestors, they want to scatter it. So after those meetings, they invited Osibanjo, the vice president of your country, to come and confirm all they just heard. Osibanjo went there and lied the usual way, and then they called him a liar. They said, how will you be lying? And you're a pastor. A pastor that lies, he lost their faith. And next thing they did, they now, from that interaction, they understood that Nigeria has become a national security issue to US. That this is not a laughing matter. This is serious. And as a result, they began to take some policy actions against Nigeria. Because Nigeria has received and are incubating terror network. People saw this flag. Or nobody that would deny that they did not see when Buhari was receiving flags from terrorists. Look at the guns and everything in front of it. That's Quran and gun. This picture tells you all that you need to know, even if you don't know what they wrote in those Arabic fonts. Just the picture. As they say, picture speaks a lot. Look at them receiving it. Why did they do that? You are there. They are busy receiving terror network and incubating them. You are just lying down low. But America is not taking it funny, easy. America is not saying, oh, let's ignore it. They're just playing around. No, they are not. What did they do? They sent UN to visit, that the special rapporteur, to visit Nigeria. That was in August 2015. For those that are asking what...
Do you guys notice that all these things are happening under Republican Party?
Exactly.
Every time there's a Democratic Party, they set us backwards. The same party we've been following since we got here. Anytime we covenant with them, things do not move for us. And we need to be able to tie this thing phenomenon together. When Democrats are in power, when Republicans are in power, you will see that things are being addressed the way they're supposed to be addressed on a human level. We'll show you guys what happened when Obama was in office in 2010, and how that. I'll let you finish because we're running out of time.
Yes, my dear, it's true. Why? Because the Republicans understand what it means to be indigenous. So they tend to work with indigenous peoples. It's about policy. This is not about whether I like your head or your bread is black or not. It's about policy. They understand it, so they work with these people. The Democrats work more with Britain to go all over the world to cause war, cause chaos, fight, kill people, and steal their resources. It's about policies. So you go and check the policies and then come back and give us feedback. It's not about arguing stupidly or arguing blindly. So we want to tell you that in UN, the people we are dealing with, the people that they have this is called Security Council. It's not just any secretary you find on the main road of UN. You see a messenger that is cleaning a UN office. He said, I'm a UN representative, though I want to speak. That's not what we're saying. We are talking about Security Council. The nations will gather together and say, this is what will happen and this is how it's going to be. Of course, we have administrators, those that are the carrying files for UN. When you hear secretary, that's what it means. Secretary of UN is carrying file for UN. He's not member, he's not owner of UN. So UN Security Council will sit and make their decisions. Those ones carrying file are not decision makers. They are messengers for UN. So when you be hearing, my people, please listen very well. When you are hearing UN said this, UN said that, if that thing doesn't make sense to you, you know that the people talking are the messengers. UN messengers, those that are cleaning toilets in UN, they want to talk to nations. This is we're discussing is about nations. We're not talking about small girls and small boys that are doing work in UN. That's not what we're talking. So please understand it, my people. So one thing leading to the other, one thing to the other. You see the presentation is like, this one is leading to this one is using. So when that happened, after UN came in August 2019, they make a declaration that Nigerian constitution is a pressure cooker for injustice, and as a result, a threat to the global peace. You see where they're looking at? It's about global peace. Because if Nigeria snaps, the entire world will sneeze. And they don't want it. That's what they're looking at. They're not looking at tiny Fulani that is going up and down, hobnobbing and carrying cows up and down. They're looking at the ethnic nations that have citizens in Nigeria, in US, have citizens in UK. What will happen? Because the citizens of America living here that came from those ethnic nations will be here setting America on fire. They cannot be clapping for America while their people are dying in their villages. And America understands that. The American diplomats understand that. That's why NINAs, they also give discussions and conversation with diplomats, because they're the ones that will take the message back to their countries. We are talking about nations. We're not talking about individuals. Nations of peoples. As a result of that visitation and the assessment of UN, because it was US that sponsored. If you listen to Trump that time, Trump was go back and listen to what Trump is saying. He said, we're going to begin to work with indigenous people directly. We're not going to walk through some people that are trying to delay what we're doing, because Trump understood the message. You hear Trump talking about patriotism. He said, if I'm patriotic to my nation, you are patriotic to your nation, there will be a global peace.
Yep.
Listen
Common
to
sense.
Yes, it's common sense. Trump was not a politician. He was just a normal human being. Of course, he has his own character and everything. That's why we'll tell you that this is not about individuals. We are talking about policies. We're talking about nations. We're talking about issues concerning people's collection. That's what we're talking about. So from that, US, they now put Nigeria and Iran in US watch list. What's the meaning? That's in December 2019. You see how we're following? Share this thing to other people so they will get the information. Go and verify so that you know the right thing to do. Not shouting on the table, Biafra, Biafra, Biafra. Things are not done that way. Oh, Yoruba nation, Yoruba nation. You think when you shout Yoruba nation, then you have Yoruba nation. That's not how things are done. You follow protocol. Share these things to your people. Let them see it and have sense and receive sense. From 2019 August, US placed Nigeria in December. Have you seen? Immediately December 2019 on watch list. What that means, like Nigeria, Iran, you are stepping on our toes, oh. You are stepping on the toe of US. And we are not going to be allowing you people to be doing that, oh. That nonsense you people are doing in your country is affecting us, oh. See how COVID affected us. And you people are doing this nonsense. We can see you people receiving flag from terror network. That's what people are doing there. You're stepping on our toes. I'll give you an example of what US can do. You remember General Soleimani of Iran? Because US is they have a structure. That's why they do their things like that. They went and just neutralized him. That happened on January 7th, 2020. You see, December, they're saying Iran and Nigeria, you're stepping on our toes. By January 7th, they have neutralized the one that is causing trouble in Iran. The next thing they would have done is to come to Nigeria. Only God knows what they would have done. But something happened, the election happened in the US, and the mental people started telling us what to do.
They reversed everything that would have helped the indigenous people. Reversed every one of them, removed Nigeria from a terrorist, did all these things, and we're telling you guys, we have come of age to be able to recognize who is for us and who is against us.
Correct, sister. Correct. We have come of age. So you can't be bamboozling us in some platforms and people say, hey, don't say this, don't say this. Keep quiet with your ignorant mouth. We're talking about information. If you don't have it, go and get it. They're not hidden anymore. Thank God for Google. If you have not acquired information on this matter, please do not speak. Do not talk to our people. Enough of this confusion. So by March 2020, we're telling you about the things done step by step. They placed Nigeria in a country of particular concern, Nigeria and Iran. What that means is that Nigeria, you're still aggravating us. So we are saying that you stepped on our toes. Now you're aggravating us. What it means that if you want to be an entity, if you want, don't be an entity. If we notice anything that you're doing that will affect our embassy and affect our people, we will come in and take care of it. That's what it means. That's what we are saying. So whether you have Democrats or you have Republicans, we have structures in US, security systems. It is their job to protect the integrity of US. It does not depend whether red or blue is in charge. People do their job. So Democrats might be messing around and be doing what they're doing. When the chips are down, what will happen will happen. So in June 2020, before Trump was removed, he brought what we call the executive order. What that means was that with that executive order, he provided necessary training for diplomats that are going to Nigeria, working in Nigeria, and then resources for security institutions that will be able to do things that need to. See, these things are non-partisan. Security in US is non-partisan. It doesn't, it's beyond the red, blue politics. No, they have their politics, so they have people that this is their job. Because the thing about America is that if Americans are killed, the American people will call the politicians to order. We saw what happened with Clinton when that embassy, wherever, was burnt. That case, they drag them. It cost that Mrs. Clinton. It cost her her political ambition. Americans know they play. They know they joke. They will do investigation. Individuals, lawyers, they will do investigation. People will assist them to know who did it and who did. So don't be comparing America and Nigeria. Thank God, beg my classmates. Please, I beg you, go and get information right. And with that thing they did, that's what we saw in Abuja 2022. That evacuation they did. Because some people say, hey, they just said it, they didn't do anything. Please stop. Things are not done like that in some countries that know what they're doing. That evacuation they did is their job to do it. Of course, being close to some diplomatic stuff in Nigeria, I know Nigeria that every country has that. So when they're moving, doing that evacuation, they're not doing it because they just want to shout. No. They move them from Abuja and they want their people to say, we can't vouch for Abuja, but you can run to Lagos. This is why you saw them, they closed the embassy, US embassy in Abuja. Do you know what it means for them to close their embassy? It's not, the money they make from Nigeria is too much. So if they close their embassy, it's not a joke. Because the people here, we ask them, the money we're supposed to make, how come they will sue them? So when you see US closing embassy, it's not more. They close their embassy in US and continue, in Abuja, and continue the one in Lagos. And as we speak, that's building multi-million-dollar embassy in Lagos, not Abuja. These are policy changes. They are shifting because they're watching the situation. And see how this is going. Sorry, my sister. I pray our people are listening and are learning. You can see our people making comments. Sam, thank you.
Yes, we're going to read that comment. Before we do that, we just wanted to, this was a last minute addition to what we're doing, just to show you guys that information was in 2010, right?
Ahead. Yeah, that was when the first team of Ninas went, they saw that document. We were doing solemn assemblies. We did Nadeko, pro Nadeko, because this has been going on for over years now. Then told the people to go and do their solemn assemblies. 2015, they did solemn assembly. So immediately after the solemn assembly in Port Harcourt, they knew that they brought some documents, but something changed again. There was election in US, and Republicans lost, and Democrats won. And they sponsored Buhari to come in. I don't know if what I said makes sense. Are you ready?
No, go ahead. I'm still trying to, my WhatsApp went out. I'm trying to.
Okay. So we're telling you, this thing is not hearsay. It's when we tell you, go and look at it and study, because we want our people. We don't want what is happening to South Africa to happen to our people. After we finish battle, some people will go from the door, or there will not be continuity. Because like we said, so far there's humanity on this earth, there will be aggressors. There will be people trying to steal people's resources. So stupidity is not allowed. That, oh, I'm ignorant, I don't know. Then they will take you out, kill you off, and take your land. In this world, how things operate is that Anya Bakwa, shine your eyes. When Nigerians say, shine your eyes. In this world, you must shine your eyes. That's the default setting. You cannot afford to be stupid. Even in your personal life, as a married woman, you're in your husband's house. You cannot afford to be stupid. You cannot afford to, because as you're giving birth to children, you need to protect them, provide for them. It's your responsibility. So your eye must open. Your eyes, Sam Moren is saying, please copy of snapping pictures with Boko Haram and post it on the Nina's platform. Okay, we will. We will do that. We'll send that, yes, on Nina's platform. From time to time, we also send you Nina's links. We'll send out on our show also. So they'll be on the platform and be receiving this information, firsthand. So you won't wait till Saturday, because we do our show just because we are busy women. We are busy running our homes. We are busy working and all that. So we will not be able to be coming every week. Every day, 30 seconds. This is not the only job we do. Some people have it as job. So we are not able to do that. Sorry. That's why. So that's why we'll come once a week and we'll give you 1 hour, 30 minutes, or sometimes to stretch to 2 hours. Sorry when it stretches. But please, help us to share so that this information, what we have in mind is that when we put all this in a connected dot, those that are doing broadcasts for our people, we watch it, get educated, ask us some questions, put your question in the comment, we'll direct you. So that when you're telling our people, you'll be informed. We want to produce leaders that are informed. Africa is going to change. Black race is changing. What we are looking for is not just Ndibo. It's the entire ethnic nations, not just in Nigeria, but all over Africa and then the world. Why? Because you see, the world is being mismanaged. The resources in the world is enough to take care of the people. But some criminals are there doing what they're doing. Okay. Are you ready, my sister?
Right. So the thing is freezing. So we're going to post this thing on our uh, Facebook page for those of you that wants to read what's going on. This article or this case study was produced in 2011, and this is in reference to the seven failed states. And at the same time, we recall that around the same time, 2010, we know everybody heard the story that Nigeria was going to break and was going to be here anymore, and nobody's asking what
Yeah,
changed.
they gave a term that by 2015.
Yes. And nobody is asking what changed, what happened to that, where did the information come from, where did it go? So this is in tandem with what we're doing. All those things came out because of the work that Nina's has done. I think that thing has virus. Each time I open it, it won't open.
No problem. Just hold them.
So, but anyway, we'll post this information on our platform so that we can get informed. Information is out there. Nothing is hidden. It's us that is playing around. We want to watch naked women on the social media. We want to watch people cooking and doing toothpick on their teeth. We want to watch all
Big brother Africa. Big brother Niger.
So we're not watching for things, but we cannot be doing just like the young people. The older ones should be able to dive into this information and begin to get something out of it, right? Because your children emulate what you do. My children are into politics because I'm into politics. So if you're into, politics, no, God will do it for us. Then your children will result to the same. But the information is out there for us to learn. So the bottom line is that we are not stopping with what we're doing because we know it's going to get somewhere. And we're going to do history. So I get me for Africa. And it shouldn't even be that way. It's just that some people have defaulted to that mode. That's all they know. To watch things and wait for somebody to produce another America, and then they will come and bring their business plans. They will bring their business plans. A lot of our brothers and sisters are hailing us and say, continue, when you finish, I will show up with my business plans to run a business for you guys. That's not a good attitude to have. So anyway, completing on our slides, we cannot end the show without talking about the 5-point proposition by Nina's, because again, we want people to be clear on what we are demanding so that we don't get confused about people knowing Brother Tony and knowing Sister Kui and thinking they know what we're doing. Our first demand is an acknowledgement of the grave constitutional grievances that we raised in the union dispute, as declared in 2020, and express commitment to the Commission, the imposed 1999 unitary constitution, the one that P2B wants to uphold. We want it to be discommissioned so that we will build our house on a foundation that will sustain us as a nation, and express commitment to shelve further elections under 1999 constitution. And we've said this over and over again, because when you go to election and you go through when you go through election, what you're doing is to give life again, 4-year life to this constitution. And when they win, those criminals that want election, that think we have democracy, when them and their children are living in democratic nation, they want to be able to have access to continue to steal our resources. So, and we are saying no. Their idea is that if the election takes place, they will congratulate who won, and then they will give them the arms to destroy anyone that will complain. This is the time that we have our power back. Don't listen to people promoting obedience and articulate. They all have plans. So some of them have plans to leave Nigeria after election. Some of them have plans to run away after election. Some of them have already armed themselves to teeth, and the hungry ones are there following them around. The fourth one is an invitation to the constituent people of Nigeria to work at the modalities for transitioning arrangements, including mandate time frame, membership, and ancillary matters. So English breakdown, it will allow us to come out and decide how we are going to do all of these things together as one, because we are the constituents that is responsible for making the constitution. And last but not least, we want an announcement of a time-bound two-stage transitioning process, which shall in the first stage feature multi-regional referendums, which will allow us to commit or opt out of Nigerian Union. It will give the constituent people back their power. It will make you feel like you're part of that constitution of Obasanjo is telling you that if it's made the right way, you'll be able to beat your hand on your chest and defend it. And the second part of it, we will now distill the terms of the union, which will be dictated by the outcome of the referendums. This thing is posted on Nina's website. It's on our Daughters of Truth. So follow us, go learn more, share the information, understand. We are trying to figure out a way to break these videos down in 15 minutes increments to allow people to watch a little more. Don't be deceived by your political leaders. Don't be deceived by your musicians, singing songs with the name of our oppressors. Don't be deceived by your church leaders. No to Bishop Coker. Today, they want to hear Nina's proposition. The next day, they are praying for peace in the same place that is killing our people. They are all the same. They are benefiting from your pain. And they will continue to benefit from your pain as long as you are marinating in ignorance. If you get this information, you'll be able to empower yourself. You'll be able to let people be, brother Peter be, I love you much, but you won't be able to help me in this situation. Mr. Atiku, oh, I know you married 20 Igbo women, but you won't be able to help us in this situation. That's all it's all about. We just want to build a sustainable, meaningful, not just sustainable, meaningful society where our people will thrive. If we can understand it from that standpoint, then we'll be able to make better decisions and know that this is not about any particular candidate, not at all. So thank you so much. We have run way past our time. We will see you guys next week. Continue to inform yourself. Be kind to yourself and to others. Because the Nigerian state does not allow us to thrive does not mean that you will stifle your brothers and sisters. Be nice to others. We can begin that, change that we want within ourselves and our communities. I know times are tough, but if we come together, we can do more.
Yes.
Be kind to others. Be kind to others. Think to yourself, if this thing that I'm doing to someone, if someone does it to me, would I like it? Let's begin from that step. We need to make a change, a meaningful change that can help our people, because we want this more than anything else. So remain blessed until next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.